Hi, my name is Will, and I am 3 weeks on testosterone as of yesterday. I'm a little late filming this. It's been a rough week, I can tell you that much. Mainly due to the fact that I did get my period this week, and the battle of the hormones going on in my body right now. In terms of physical symptoms, there has been no real updates since week 2. It's all kind of the same stuff. But emotionally, it's been a roller coaster of a week. I've been very depressed. It's been hard to get out of bed in the morning. I'm finding it hard to get enjoyment from things, just motivate myself in general. Can't really think of much else that's happened this week in terms of my body, because that's been the main thing. Just feeling very down. I've never had depressive symptoms as a side effect of getting my period before going on testosterone, so this is a new experience for me, but I do think it is due to my period because it kind of came out of nowhere at the same time. So even though it's not a usual period symptom for me, I think the period is the cause of the depression. It's just really weird to feel it because, like, I don't know, I don't want to feel down during this process because it feels weird to feel negative about going through medical transition, because I don't want the consensus to be that this is a negative process, like that I'm regretting it or anything. It's just, it has been hard this week emotionally, and I think that is due to being on the hormones, but I don't want it to seem like being on the hormones is a negative, like it's a bad thing for me right now. We're gonna do the rest of the video in the dark because I don't want to drain my car's battery. But in general, transis news for myself, this isn't related to the transition, but I did take like 2 weeks off from binding because I was worried about some pain that I was getting in my ribs. And I started binding again today, and it's been all good, so that's nice to know. So I can continue binding pain-free from here on out, and I'll take another break whenever I need to. Yeah, I'm sweaty, I'm tired, I've been depressed. I don't know what else to say. I was asking on Reddit for some answers about like if anybody else had felt this like weird depression, because I never heard of anyone talk about feeling like this way. But I was like, it has to be caused by being on T, because I didn't feel like this before. This is like a new thing. And the general consensus from people was like, they don't know. So I guess this isn't something that a lot of guys feel, which is not great. I don't want to be going through this, let alone going through it. Not sure if anybody else has had a similar experience or not. It's nicer to know that other people have gone through it and are like, oh yeah, it'll like, yeah, like week 3, it's always like that, but you'll get over it. I'm not getting that experience when I'm seeking answers online, so that's been tough. Some people have said they felt a little whack while they were getting their hormone levels like correct, but none of them have expressed feeling the way I feel. I've been so very down a few days this week. I don't know, it's been weird. I think in general, a lot of the stuff I've been experiencing in terms of changes has been kind of negative. So that's also been bringing me down. Just in terms of like, I'm so incredibly hot and sweaty all the time, and I'm so exhausted all the time. My pee is getting on my nerves because it's real cloudy and it smells different, and I think that's a sign of this next thing that I was going to talk about, which is I kind of feel like I'm on the verge of a UTI at all times, and I looked that up, and that is a common experience. And I was hoping that it was like an early transition thing and it would go away, but from what I've seen, it's kind of a long-lasting effect, because basically you throw off the pH of everything down there. So now I'm like, great, am I gonna have to deal with like UTI symptoms for the rest of my life? Like, that's not great. I don't know, just in general, I'm not getting the things I want visually and vocally, and I am getting a whole bunch of like whack side effects that I would rather not have. So it's kind of been all tough so far. The only great things have been like the muscles that I've been getting. So that's probably also contributing to this feeling of being down. But yeah, I would really appreciate if anybody has had an experience of being just like suddenly so depressed in the early days of taking tea, and whether or not it was related to being on your period. I don't know. That would be reassuring for me if someone else has felt the same way. But as you can tell, it's raining, and that's kind of what my mood has felt like for the majority of this week. So hopefully I have a more positive update next week. Hi, my name is Will, and I am 4 weeks on testosterone. So I wanted to include the 4-week update along with the 3-week update because I feel like week 3 was so depressing. And I did get through that, and I feel so much better this week. So I wanted to include this to show that it was only a little hiccup and it did go away. So here I am at the end of week 4. I feel really good. So that depression that brought me real down low in week 3 was definitely related to the hormones around my period. Because as soon as I got like halfway through my period, it started to ease up and I felt better again. And definitely towards the end of it, I was feeling like myself again. So that's all good. Yeah. I feel like the major thing for week 4 has been, I feel like my voice is starting to do things. Obviously it's still very high, but I don't know, I find myself singing in the car and I can hit notes super easily that I would have had to strain for before. I'm finding myself a little bit uncomfortable trying to hit notes in the upper register that I would have had no problem with before. So it just feels like my whole vocal range has just like gone down like 1, maybe 2 notes. It's very subtle, but I can feel it. I can feel my voice kind of vibrating in my chest more, which I've never had before. I've never had a voice that I could like feel physically vibrating in my body, which is interesting. Yeah, it just, everything feels like it has shifted ever so slightly. So I think I'm in the beginnings of some voice stuff happening. And today is Friday. I got a haircut on Sunday, and I think that was the first day where I felt or like noticed something happening with my voice, because I went to get a haircut and my hairdresser said she noticed right away as soon as I started speaking. She's like, "Has your voice gotten lower?" So that was interesting. I was like, has it? Because I hadn't noticed anything before that day, and then I I was like, I think it has. So that's been interesting. I definitely, like, this feels comfortable for me. I'm not like pushing it. Like, I could really push it, and like, this is not a comfortable space for me to talk in all the time. But I don't feel like this is just like a resting voice for me. I don't feel like I'm overly trying to speak low. Like, obviously, if I'm talking to my dog, or like I'm excited or whatever, like it goes up again. But I don't know, it's just exciting to like think that it might be starting to happen, because my voice is one of the main things that I want to change. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. What else? I don't think anything else has really happened this week besides the voice thing and the not feeling depressed anymore. I'm still sweaty, still hot. I feel super round. I know water retention is something that happens when you start testosterone and like your hormones go all weird. Like, my jaw is just the roundest it's ever been, and I already had a really round face. But I'm just like there is no definition between my face and my neck. It's all one panel. So I'm waiting for like the definition to come back at some point, but it's all kind of, I actually don't look as round in this video as I have been. Oh, you know what it is? I chugged a ton of water today because I was trying to negate the roundness by getting a lot of water into me so that my body would stop holding on to it so much. So that appeared to work. Okay, so I just need to chug a ton of water and I'll look less round. Okay. I try not to measure my weight too often. I kind of just go by like if my clothes are feeling a little bit tighter than they usually are, things like that. Whether or not I need to like maybe I should move around a little bit more, or like watch how many sweets I'm having. I don't try and track numbers, but every now and then I'll weigh myself, and I weighed myself before I started testosterone because I wanted to have that number to compare things to. And I weighed myself last night for the first time since starting T, and it hasn't even changed. So that's interesting. So even though I'm getting rounder, and I feel like in my stomach too, like I just feel like bloated and like, I don't know. It feels like I could have gained weight, but I haven't, which is interesting. Because I wouldn't have been surprised if the number had gone up. And it's also interesting because I have gained muscle. And I know muscle weighs more than fat. And so if I've gained the muscle that I have without losing weight, I don't know, it makes like that would then insinuate that I've lost some weight in terms of like fatty tissue. I don't feel like I have though, in terms of like if anything, my pants fit tighter, stuff like that. So we'll see. It might just be all covered up by just a ton of bloating from all of the water that my body is holding on to. So we'll see about that. But yeah, it feels like I've gained weight, but I haven't, and I probably have lost weight considering that I've gained muscle and the number on the scale hasn't gone up. So we'll see. Just goes to show that what you see isn't necessarily an indicator of what's going on in your body and like overall health and stuff, because I might look less healthy than I did when I started T, but I definitely have more muscle mass compared to other things in my body going on, so I'm probably healthier even though I look worse. But yeah, I don't know, I just think that was interesting to note. But yeah, definitely week 4 has been a lot better than week 3. And I am excited to see what else happens from here on. I really am hoping that weight distribution happens at some point. I think that takes longer to kick in, if I'm being honest. I need to check. I don't actually know when everything happens typically for people. So, but that would be the next thing after my voice, because the voice was the number 1 thing that I really wanted to start happening. And now that it's happening, I'm like, ooh, yay, okay. Now I don't have to worry about when that's gonna start. I just have to let it cook, let it do what it's gonna do. It's gonna keep developing. Next thing that I'm like, okay, I want to see this starting to kickstart is fat redistribution. I just want to get less curvy. I'm not looking to lose weight. I'm just looking for that weight to sit differently in my body. So I'm hoping it comes away from like my thighs and like, what are they call these, like love handles or whatever, like hippie, the like, I think I'm what they call either an apple or a pear shape. Like I hold a lot of weight in like the bottom middle of my body. I just want that to like move up. I don't care if I become like a square or like a barrel shape. Like I don't need to be a Dorito. I just would like to not be like wabam around the midsection. So hopefully that starts soon as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm doing good this week. So definitely still exhausted. I don't know when I'm gonna start feeling like I can get 8 hours of sleep and function, but right now I'm getting like 12 hours of sleep and feel like I can't function. So would love to get time back in my day where I don't have to be sleeping all the time. I think I take at least like my nap intake has gone up so much. I had 3 naps the other day. Yeah, the napping has been crazy. I'm just so tired. Yeah. One thing I would love for testosterone to do for me is increase my height, but I know that that is not possible at my age. So sad about that, but there's other stuff I can look forward to. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. Oh, big update. I can do 3.5 push-ups now. Remember when we started on day 1 of testosterone, I said I could do half a push-up. I've gained 3 push-ups in 4 weeks, so pretty proud of that. Yeah. But yeah, life is good right now, so thought I'd tack that on to the end of the week 3 update, because that by itself would be kind of depressing. And it was just hormonal imbalance messing with my emotions in my head. Hopefully that doesn't happen again next week. Not next week. Next month. But if it does, I'm gonna be more prepared for it this time, because I will like know what to expect and know what it is, and I'll know that it will stop. So knowledge is power. See you next week.